Dirty Harry is one of those recognizable police action movies that made the 1970s the way it was. And many police movies have become very popular during that era of movies and, the genre itself. Before that, many actors were chosen to play the part of Dirty Harry, actors such as John Wayne, which was the primary choice, but he did another movie instead called McHugh and another one called Brannigan. Frank Sinatra and even guys like Robert Mitchum and Burt Lancaster were also chosen to play the role of Dirty Harry, and even Steve McQueen, believe it or not, and these guys have all turned down the role, and we don't want to see another police movie from him. And rumor has it that even Charles Bronson, the real king of cool, was also offered the role of Dirty Harry, but he also refused to play that part too and did another similar movie to the Dirty Harry movies, which was A Stone Killer from 1973 and even 10 to Midnight from 1983. But so here we see the main villain of the movie, and he is addressed as Scorpio, played by Andrew Robinson, as he's across the rooftop from the other building trying to kill a girl. So now the San Francisco police are there for the investigation of the murder, and here we meet our main protagonist, Inspector Harry Callahan, or Dirty Harry, played by Clint Eastwood, as he looks around for clues. And here is the theme composed by the great Lalo Schifrin. He's actually still alive, by the way, probably the same age as Clint Eastwood. Harry finds a bullet shell and a written note on the building across and brings it back to the mayor's office and reads it out loud. The mayor is played by John Vernon, by the way.
Scorpio.
So the mayor asks Luke Cullen and Harry Callahan.
Past 3/4 of an hour, I've been sitting on my ass in your outer office, waiting on you.
So Scorpio in the note demands for $100,000, and Harry refuses to pay that amount. They meet his quest. But this will continue on, as we will see, where Scorpio keeps on asking for more money and other things.
Do I get this right? You're gonna play this creeps game?
Despite how much money they pay, as we will see, where Scorpio keeps on asking for more money and other things. But Harry leaves pissed off and takes a trip to the local diner for some lunch. And an Easter egg here, it's present of Clint's other movie, Play Misty for Me, which was released in 1971, and gets a hot dog and talks to Walter Matthau over here to see there is a tanned Ford still parked in the back as he drove past it. So Harry asks Walter Matthau to call up for backup at the San Francisco police station because there's obviously a bank robbery going to happen. We get this.
Oh, shit.
So the bank's alarm is ringing loudly as Harry Callahan walks out slowly with his gun, leaving the remaining thief alive in this purple striped t-shirt. And this actor is actually Albert Popwell, who appears maybe 2 or 3 other movies in the Dirty Harry series afterwards as either a friend or an antagonist. I don't really remember the other 4 movies. I haven't seen them in a long time.
Fire 6 shots or only 5?
Okay, so now Harry's at the hospital, and we have this heated moment between the doctor and Harry.
I'll come down to the station and tell you how to beat a confession out of a prisoner.
So Harry just ends up taking off his pants to treat whatever he's injured from. So Harry gets blood or ketchup on his pants or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't remember seeing him getting injured anyway. And now we have a huge police team having a surveillance protocol throughout San Francisco to look for Scorpio. And now we are back at the office the next day. And here we meet Lieutenant Bressler again, having a small talk with Harry. And here we see the introduction of one of Harry Callahan's many partners.
Say hello to Chico Gonzalez. He'll be working with you.
Chico Gonzalez, played by Rennie Santoni. What's weird here is that both Andrew Robinson, who plays Scorpio here, and Rennie Santoni, plays Chico Gonzalez, do appear together once again in Sylvester Stallone's Cobra from 1986. I thought that was a weird coincidence there that to see that these two would appear again together in another later police-themed movie, but this time with Stallone. So Harry starts complaining that all of his previous partners are either dead or not functionable, and that he doesn't want another partner to come to work with him, and would rather partner up with Frank DiGiorgio.
Are you working with Gonzalez or you're not working? That's straight from the 5th floor. You got it?
Anyway, the two get to work and meet with Frank DiGiorgio himself, played by John Mitchum, the brother of actor, the famous Robert Mitchum, who discusses that Harry hates everyone and everything, including racialized groups, which I won't play. In the next scene, we are in the open area of San Francisco, and here we meet Scorpio again, located on top of the church, and sees that the response to his letter about the $100,000 is in the newspaper, and takes out his telescope and spies out on what looks like a gay couple having ice cream. The expression on Scorpio's face is just so creepy and convincing here. I'd even argue that Scorpio is even creepier than Norman Bates from Hitchcock's Psycho. So Scorpio is ready to shoot, and a police helicopter is there to stop him just in time, and escapes before getting caught. Same night, Harry and Chico are driving around downtown San Francisco as they were given a description of a man who was seen with a briefcase similar to Scorpio's description. Yeah, Chico, I know, but we have to get back to work. Another Easter egg here is that Harry spots a name on this strip club banner, Pussy Galore, who happens to be one of the Bond girls from the James Bond movie Goldfinger from 1964. I'm sure Harry's like, yeah, I remember seeing her in the movie from 1964, yeah. But anyway, Chico spots a guy that fits that description from afar, and the two follow this guy.
Get the hell out of the way, hammerhead.
So Harry and Chico both split up, and Harry follows the guy with the briefcase and steps on his garbage can and spots through the window yet another James Bond kind of scene similar, again from Goldfinger from 1964. And if you have seen it, Sean Connery actually stands on something as he spies on Goldfinger's plan to invade Fort Knox. That's something that I've noticed. Obviously, it's not the briefcase that they're looking for, and it's not Scorpio since it's just an Asian man carrying a present for his girlfriend inside his briefcase. So another Goldfinger kind of reaction, but this time these are neighbors who grab our hero's legs. Since Pussy Galore did the same thing to Sean Connery in that movie, does he yank his legs and then he falls down. So Chico comes in to save the day, and we get another funny moment.
You know, I just had another one. What? Well, why they call you Dirty Harry? Shut up!
So two are back on the road, and now they're helping out a firefighter crew to stop a man from committing suicide.
Now you know why they call me Dirty Harry. Every dirty job that comes along.
Next morning, we'll see Harry and Chico back to work as they are driving to a murder scene, and this is one of the brutal murders of the movie. A 10-year-old kid who got blasted in the face with a gun, probably done by Scorpio, but we never really see the actual murder body.
Welcome to Homicide.
So we're back at headquarters to indicate the many accessible rooftops for Scorpio to potentially go to, as Harry and Chico do go on a stakeout on a rooftop. Is now underway with this glowing sign that says Jesus saves, and the stakeout occurs because to see if Scorpio were to come out on any of the major rooftops and notices some unusual things that he has, as he has binoculars on, and of course gets distracted.
You owe it to yourself to live, little Harry.
Looks like they're about to have a threesome, but I don't know. Looks exciting for Harry. Harry notices the door is now open of the rooftop across the street where the $100,000 bag was placed. The money that was required from the letter at the mayor's office, and now that's gone. Harry pulls out his rifle and starts shooting as he sees Scorpio running in the dark, and Chico manages to pull a flashlight out and spots Scorpio and starts shooting back hysterically. Just look at the way Scorpio shoots here. He's just so creepy. He's just having fun just by shooting back. It's like, wow. The two go down and see a dead man on the road, and that concludes this night and the stakeout. Next morning, Harry and Chico are back at headquarters, and a picture of a 14-year-old girl that is about to die, only to know that these pictures were obviously sent from Scorpio, another required $200,000 letter since she disappeared last night. Along with that, Scorpio sent over her many personal belongings, as you can see here, putting together another bag of money. We also learned that Harry has to do this job by himself now. Chico has been told to screw off for the night.
Get the hell out of here, both of you.
The next scene, we see a James Bond kind of moment again, where Harry's getting some bugging equipment, and we see this man is like Hugh Branch. So this time we have Harry Callahan, and of course we see Chico in the background. It means he is coming along without telling Bressler.
Count it down. Do you count it, Chief?
My responsibility.
Come on, guys, not that hard to count money. So Harry tapes a knife to his leg, which
Borrow a little of your Scotch tape, would you? Okay.
Shortly, we are now at the harbor in San Francisco waiting for one of Scorpio's many calls, as Harry will have to run around the city from payphone to payphone with the bag of money. I'm pretty sure Die Hard 3 has a similar scene where John McClane has to run around New York City, listen to Simon Gruber. I think I don't really remember. I haven't seen that movie in a couple of years.
What's your name? Callahan. You don't answer by the fourth ring.
So if Harry does not pick up the phone after 4 rings at every payphone he has to go to, 14-year-old girl will die. So instead of driving, Harry has to, of course, run, despite how far each payphone is, and take some transportation. Meanwhile, Chico's at a far distance paying attention on the other end of the bugging setup Harry has on him from his car. Harry is now running to the next payphone. Well, through the tunnel, we see some muggers, and we see a badass moment by Dirty Harry.
Bag, man. You dudes get lost now, you're here. Yeah, just give us a walk.
Harry gets to the payphone only to see an older man has picked it up and runs to the next stop, and we see one of the many weirder moments. At this part of the movie is just so dark and slightly boring, but what I mean by boring, I mean long.
I will take a dare. Well, Alice, when was the last time you were busted? Your advice? I'll kill myself.
Harry just stops at what looks like is a cemetery, and Scorpio comes out from the back with a red mask on and starts to kick Harry around. Damn, what a weirdo. Holy crap, man. Holy shit.
I've changed my mind. I'm going to let her die.
Creepiest villains I've seen in any movie. So Chico is now running to the location to where Harry is as Scorpio tries to kill him. Chico manages to get there on time as Harry takes a knife, tapes his leg, and this happens.
That's gotta hurt.
Harry gets up and grabs his gun and Scorpio runs away. Meanwhile, Chico does get shot by Scorpio, and we won't see him till maybe like the last 20 minutes of the movie after this. So we're back at headquarters where Harry's laying on the office couch, brutally injured, of course, with 2 cracked ribs, and Bressler is also there talking to the police chief, questioning why Chico was there with Harry and what happened to the money. So we get another call from a doctor with a description of an individual that fits the same as Scorpio to treat a knife wound and is now at the hospital with Frank DiGiorgio. The doctor tells him that he's seen Scorpio at the stadium across the hospital many times and that Scorpio works there as a groundskeeper during the day. So Harry and DiGiorgio drive off to the football stadium, have to end up climbing the fence to get in because it's nighttime. Of course, Scorpio's looking through the peephole somewhere. He must work night shifts, I guess, at night. Pretty creepy music playing. Harry starts looking around, notices some footsteps, and it's of course Scorpio running with that limp in his leg after the knife wound. So the two run out into the grass field of the stadium and see that DiGiorgio has turned on the lights as Harry shoots Scorpio in the leg. Scorpio starts to play the victim now, and Harry steps on his leg to make sure Scorpio will maybe tell him if he just gives him a little pressure on the wound where the 14-year-old girl is. We can blurt it out already. So Harry steps on his leg to make sure Scorpio will tell him, because, torture leads to truth. It's now morning, and Harry sees that the medical team have found the 14-year-old girl, her naked body from the sewer. She was already dead when Harry was running around with the bag of money, so who knows what Scorpio's done with her. Another murder down in San Francisco by Scorpio. So later in the day, Harry's asked to be at the district attorney's office to re-evaluate Scorpio's arrest dossier, only to know that him playing the victim worked, and that he can walk away without ever going to jail, and that Harry stepping on his wounded leg was against his rights, with the judge sitting behind, and that the 14-year-old girl was already dead before the payphone trip Harry had to do. But we also learned that whatever evidence has been brought by Harry has no clear connection to Scorpio killing anyone, since one of them being, of course, he has been using gloves for no sign of fingerprints, and an example of this would be the first few minutes of the movie. The rifle and whatever is retrieved will not suffice. Now, what Scorpio did here would never work here at all in real life, especially in 2024 with all the BS you see on the internet, especially where truths are being exposed and whatnot.
But I didn't know that.
Scorpio's walking around free, and of course Harry's following him, first at the park and then at the strip club. Yeah, pretty good music here. So the next day, Scorpio is going to see a black guy and pays him for his services, quote unquote. But in reality, he just pays him to get beaten up. And
You really want $200 worth?
Every penny of it.
probably the weirdest scene ever in the entire movie. Yeah, the beatings were meant to pin on Harry Callahan. So Scorpio is on the stretcher now at the hospital with the press questioning him who did this to him. Of course, he blames Harry Callahan for all this,
Worst homicide, Callahan.
which is all part of the plan to walk free again. Of course, it's a recording that the police chief has kept to show Harry and is pissed off. But Harry does admit that he was following Scorpio the entire time on his own time and still walks away. Now we're at the hospital where Chico is staying at, since Scorpio did shoot back at him the other night when him and Harry were following Scorpio around. And Chico does not want to come back and that he wants to become a teacher instead. Alright, the same night Scorpio is out again free after a small robbery and goes to buy some wine, but he's just there to take the shop owner's gun.
Right where it's head. Please, I scare easy.
So he grabs the gun and some beers, and Scorpio the next day sees a school bus as the next final target. Threatens the bus driver to drive everywhere and distracts the kids on the bus by singing nursery rhymes. Harry makes his way back to City Hall since we haven't seen the mayor and gets a call from Scorpio from a payphone as a school bus is suddenly stopped and is asking for more money and a plan to leave San Francisco for good. So the mayor is acting the same way for the second or the third time and is willing to give Scorpio even more money and what he wants, but Harry's not going to go along with this again.
Plane ready.
Willing to take the money too?
But you can just get yourself another delivery boy.
So the bus is being driven around San Francisco as Scorpio's destination is towards the airport while singing yet another nursery rhyme with the kids. One of the kids wants to get off the bus, so Scorpio slaps him and wants the kids to continue singing.
Row your boat to metal, we do it again. Row your boat.
Yeah, pretty creepy stuff here. So the bus driver takes the next exit and Scorpio sees that Harry's at the top of another highway ready to jump onto the bus. And this car somehow comes in to slow down the bus. Definitely Frank DiGiorgio driving. That's my guess for sure. Scorpio takes over by driving the bus as the driver passes out and after the gunshot wounds, crashes into this construction sand zone and Harry falls off and starts running after Scorpio. Scorpio runs towards the pond, sees a kid playing there, grabbing him to gunpoint. But Harry shoots him on the shoulder, and now we are in the final 2 minutes of the movie. It says the same line here like you did to Albert Popwell earlier.
Thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Do you, punk?
And there goes Scorpio, about time. Harry takes out his badge and throws it towards the water, knowing that he probably lost his job after this. And especially walking out on the mayor's orders and the police chief. But we all know he's still Inspector Callahan. There's no doubt about that. And there you have it, Dirty Harry from 1971. Kind of boring, but good. I'd even say the first Death Wish movie was pretty similar to this, a little boring. But then again, all good movies have boring beginnings. I summarized the movie for you in less than 20 minutes. Most of the time, Clint Eastwood is just always whispering. Sometimes I have to rewind the scene to understand what he's actually saying. There you have it, Dirty Harry. And I will see you soon in the next video, which will be Bullet from 1968. Cheers.